I am Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, the founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. How y'all doing? What's good, y'all? Happy, what is today, Wednesday? Yes. We are back at it again, doing what I do. I go live for you while I'm doing what I gotta do for myself. Get out of here and grind for it. You know what I'm saying? Keep the bills paid. Keep the monster slayed so we can have it made for this weekend. Memorial Day weekend, that's the focus, that's the gains, that's the goal. I'm betting on this weekend to be the weekend that, at least I want it to be, the miracle weekend. That we can post a video that is going to go viral. And when I say viral, I'm talking about over 1 million views, multiple millions. Because here's the goal, right? That every YouTuber has. Every YouTuber wants to get monetized, right? And if you're already monetized, you want to maintain enough financial stability in being monetized for it to make sense because of how much effort, resources, income, time, gas, you name it, goes into, you know, running a YouTube channel. It's a job, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. You see all these people got all these channels just to help you figure out how to do it. You got people out here who are telling you their story on how they did it, whether it's about that or not. You got folks telling you how, you know, pick this niche, pick this niche, pick that niche. I'm a multi-niche channel. YouTube they tell you to do one niche, but more and more, I pay attention to the codes and how people think and the flow of how my audience has grown over the years. I did an experiment. I kind of made myself the risk in it to put content out that wasn't always under one thing. And look, we got subscribers, you know what I'm saying? We got people who subscribe. We got over 1,000 subscribers. We headed towards 1,500. Thank you so much to my monetization nation. All of y'all are the truth. Y'all are the reason for the season. As I like to say, the reason for the season for real. It's all about y'all, big time. It's all about the subscribers, the people who come back and watch and like and have subscribed. Y'all the main people. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. I see you, appreciate you. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's the monetization nation. Whoever that is, that's my monetization nation. The people who hit that thumbs up, you know what I mean? Can everybody hear me? If my sound good, you can hear me, put that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Monetization nation, that's the real one. I watch, like I watch every single day, a lot of YouTubers that I admire, discover new ones, follow people that I like what they're doing. And I'm noticing that a lot of some of the things that these gurus of YouTube say, they need to stop saying that this stuff works for everybody. It doesn't. It just doesn't. Like, there's no one formula to having success on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I found an article about a week ago that this is I'm forgetting the exact name of the source, but let's put it like this. They are one of the top analyzers of YouTube and YouTube content and trends and the algorithm and everything. It's like a whole page and website dedicated to that. That's all they do is study YouTube and try to figure, and they say on their own site, they like, unless you work for YouTube, nobody knows exactly how the algorithm works. Did you hear what I said? Nobody knows exactly how it works. They have speculation. They have tried things. They have based things on trends. It's a whole bunch of AI type stuff. You know, it's like various AI networks that are studying this thing. And based on data, statistics, whatever, yeah, then they can come up with something that you could believe when they say, okay, just like I did a search the other day because I wanted to kind of guesstimate what would it take to get what, for me and ONYXCON's goals for what we're doing, what would be the minimum and the maximum number of people I'd have to have subscribed and minimum maximum number of people I had to have actually viewing content regularly to reach the monetization levels monthly that make this make sense. And I was pleasantly surprised when I put in the results. This was just just AI search on Google. So whatever their AI system for Google is, that's what gave me the result. And it was saying that basically, you know, if you just have, I mean, one of the examples, I wish I could put these up. That's the only thing I can't stand about YouTube. I forget, I go live here, I go live on Instagram. Sometimes I go live on my fan base, but on Instagram, you can show images while you're talking. I know you can do that if you got StreamYard and all that, but ain't nobody got no money for StreamYard. You can't StreamYard in the car. I ain't never seen nobody StreamYard in the car. They do it from their home studios, and that be the folk who already been monetized, got the neon light basement, man cave or lady cave set up, and they stream games and do that. That's the people who sit on their ass all day in the little fancy chair. I'm not them. You know, even when we get the money, I kind of told myself years ago, I said, do I really want that when I finally get the money to set it up? No, I don't. I mean, I do want a home studio. I do want that. But no, mine gonna have its own flavor, just like the best podcast that exists. To me, the top podcast, before I go on that, because I'm about to go on a big tangent. Let me rewind myself. What I was saying was, when I got my results, it was saying like, okay, I'm at basically almost 1,500, right? With just 2,000 subscribers, which we right around the corner from, right? And like, I said with about 2,000 subscribers, and with I think I said 3,000. Man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry for that disturbance in the force. So, pardon for the disturbance in the force. How we still got one that was watching while they was waiting? Who are you that's so diligent? Who is that stayed on while we had technical difficulties? You must be doing your dishes or your laundry, because everybody leave when we had them kind of problems. They don't just stick around. You stop talking, it's over. It's over. Anyway, you know, the typical mess with the phone. Hot day, y'all. It's 85 degrees, and when I got this thing set up, I messed around. I had my windows cracked. I ain't have my air pumping on it, so you gotta have that air right on the phone to keep it cool. Otherwise, it just, I'm hot. I can't stand when it does that, but yeah, it do it. Anyway, we back, 2 in the building, 2 thumbs up. That's how it should always look. However many in the building, I need to see that many thumbs up. I appreciate y'all. So check this out. As I was saying, I was talking about, you know, what the numbers can look like when you get monetized based on an AI equation I did. And you can make anywhere, they said, I think, for that lower number I had, something like between $50 to $100. So it ain't a lot of money, but money is money. I don't know what world, people crack me up talking about that ain't no money. Did I say a number? Yeah, then that's money, period. Like, the hell you talking about? Like, anybody who knows stocks and Bitcoin and any other crypto and stuff like that, unless you a millionaire or 100,000 already, if you're just everyday person working, okay, you don't just sit around looking at numbers on the screen all day. No, you actually have to get in your car and get out here in the rat race and do your part some way, somehow to make them numbers on that screen for these other folk go up and down. We the reason for the season. It's us. Shout out to all my workers. You feel? But like if you got some of that going on, you know, man, hey, a couple of cents, anything close to $1, that's good stuff. You know? That is good stuff. Like, give y'all a little quick tip and keep it pushing. But like, some of y'all who got your funds still tied up in, and it's just my opinion, you know, views and opinions expressed are just those of mine. Not all of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. Anytime I give anything that sounds like financial advice, it's just financial opinion. Anytime I give anything that sounds like medical advice, it's just medical opinion. Okay? Understand that. So financially, what I was going to say was, you know, I made the shift a couple of years ago, and I got my funds out of, you know, what would be old school banking to me, where you got a brick and mortar, you got to go and deal with a teller and wait in the line and all that to cash a check, or you might have your funds coming to, even if it is digitally, if you want to pull something out, you know, you go to an ATM. And man, I ain't touched the keys on an ATM in years. And I ain't been in a bank in years because I don't deal with them. I deal with online banking. Why? Because it makes sense. it's the future, quite frankly. It's where all of them are gonna be in the future. I don't care what nobody say. The only reason banks are still open is because my parents and people from their generation and older are still with us. Thank goodness for those of us blessed enough to have our parents still. But I'm saying, once their generation, when we get old, man, ain't gonna be no damn banks. There might be something. There might be some. I don't know. Something that'll look like a gas station, but it'll have nothing but terminals for you to roll up to crypto ATMs and things like that. But there won't be no sit down with a banker. You go online and you get your session on a Zoom call type situation if you want to talk to a banker. And so everything will be digital. There ain't gonna be no face-to-face stuff. In the next, I'll say 5 to 10 for sure, but 5 mostly. It'll be half and half by 5 years from now, I think. By 10 years from now, that will not exist. It don't even make sense to keep the air on, to keep the computers running. What for? A vault for what? Huh? I mean, they'll still have stuff like that for folks who got safety deposit boxes and stuff. That'll be your bank, but it won't be no sit-down banking. I'm telling you, it's going to die, in my opinion. It's gonna die. And what will clearly take its place easily is this new income. All right, y'all. Things had to break down over time. There's a gradient period with anything. If you don't know what a gradient is, look it up. It's one of my favorite things in creating art as a visual artist. You know, you blend 2 colors, but one fades into the other. I mean, you don't know what a gradient. We don't know what a gradient is. Look up into the sky. It's typically gonna be darker the closer you get up to the top, looking into space, and then as it gets down to the earth, it's gonna lighten up a little bit. Okay, that's a gradient. So anyway, but that's kind of how, it's not direct, just one thing or the other. It's not black and white. Things go through various stages of gray, and things are always gray in general, but it may reach a tone of just one solid gray versus multiple colors of gray over time through the experiences of what people will change about, or be forced to change about how they do their money and stuff. So what I was going to say was that, when you're doing this online thing, and nowadays there's a thing, and I found this out actually through a YouTuber. So I have to give multiple YouTubers, it wasn't one, but I like to give credit where credit is due for things that inspired me and changed my life. That's why I love YouTube so much, because when they say YouTube University, it's a real thing. Any one thing any of us say can literally shape your life. If you're listening and it's true, and you look it up and find it, wow, that is factual, that is a thing. But it was somebody, and it was a couple of people that I was watching that mentioned that they have online banks, but they use what they call high yield bank account, high yield savings account. I was like, what do you mean high yield? I mean, it made sense exactly what it was when he said, but I was like, what is that? And I looked into it, and sure enough, you got a lot of companies that offer these, even some of the legendary companies that people know very well, like your American Express and stuff like that, they have them. And there's other ones that have them. I mean, most of the banks have them now. And then the brick and mortars are trying to compete with them. They give people a credit card, debit card with some points on it, and they try to make the points equal what you get. You don't get the same for your APY. The annual percentage yield, that's all that matters, man. How much is the annual percentage yield on that account? I don't give a damn about no points. I don't give a damn about you got $2 back at the gas station. That ought to come automatically. Everybody got to sway you with that stuff nowadays. But when they start talking about 4% and higher, yeah, that's the kind of accounts I'm talking about. That's what you want. Because even when you ain't got a lot of money, it feels good to notice that slowly but surely, because all these accounts are obviously based on stocks and crypto monies and not tied in with all that kind of flow of money for how they can give you that high APY, okay? But when you getting that annual percentage yield like that, and you're seeing it monthly, because in a year, that 4% is always live, it makes a difference. You might get a tank of gas off of that every now and then. You don't forgot about it for a few months, and they keep pushing a little something over to your accounts and stuff. I'm telling you, that's where it's at. So you do what you want with that. If you've never heard of it, look into it for yourself and make your own decisions. And please don't let nobody of some other generation or some so-called, somebody who's bragging online, talking about or in real life that trying to convince you that you don't know nothing about money because you ain't doing what they did 20 years ago or something. Look, the world done changed. And then if they not even on some old school about it, but they just think they know everything, but they've never heard of this. Don't listen to them either. Don't listen to me either. Because I'm going to tell you what was really funny to me when I finally made the decision to make that huge switch. I'll never forget being in my old bank, and I was closing the account. And I'll never get the ladies that, it's just like when you leave an apartment. People always want to be in your business. So you're leaving us. So where are you going? They always ask that. And they ask it casually, but they really ask it because their supervisor or whoever gonna ask them, well, where's everybody going? Why are we losing money? Why would they not want to live here with us? Like, we just want everybody here. The whole world live here. We only have 200 units, but we want everybody's money. A little greedy demon. Oh gosh. So I was like, so I named the name of the bank, and because she had not heard of it, she said, it's called what again? I said, that was it. I just said it. It's called such and such. She's like, man, she's doing her face all funny and snooty, and I just laughed. I said, boy, people, man, there's something wrong. Some people, it amazes me how arrogance works with people when it comes to folks who have a little bit of money. She got the little cushy job. You in this brick and mortar for this nationally known bank, and you really think your job is stable. Woman, do you know you are 2 years away from a freaking kiosk being you? Like, there wouldn't even be a desk here. There'll be a freaking kiosk. There'll be a row of kiosks. So ain't nobody got to wait no line. And just like how when people go into fast food restaurants nowadays, and I don't eat this stuff, but I used to do delivery, so I know what it looks like in the new McDonald's and all that. I don't eat no damn. I ain't ate McDonald's since I was in high school. I'm not touching that. That's not food. But I picked up many an order for people when I was doing delivery of food, that type of food. I still do deliveries, but not that no more. And I never forget, I was like, it was to the point where the attitude of the workers at them places, you ask them a question, they act like they don't hear nobody. It's almost like somebody told them, you don't have to talk to the customers, don't talk to them. What the hell wrong with you? I'm not even a customer. I'm trying to pick up an order. I'm trying to wonder why y'all running. But they just so used to everybody just tap on the kiosk and wait till we call your name. That's it. We call your number, that's it. That's as much contact as we have with you as passing the bag between your hand and mine. Okay, I get it. For the lack of education of most workers in those environments, or the ones who have great education, but still, the public is full of craziness, and you don't want no more drama, so you minimize the amount of human interaction. So I get it, but no, it's not even gonna be that at a bank in years. Like I said, it won't even be banks like you know them. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be what it is. They ain't gonna need no big solid brick all the way down security with a vault door type situation. It ain't gonna be like that. You want the vault side of it, that'll probably be our own separate thing. Like, I even see that being what will be left of banks. That they'll be like, by appointment only, folks who have, safety deposit boxes or something that they got to get that requires a vault level transaction. But how many handful of people is that that's not doing that same stuff online? Because all they care about is the number and decide that as long as the number pops up on their damn phone or their computer and they can secure that money is there in a digital form or otherwise, their gold or whatever is accounted for, they don't need to ever see it. Most of these people now, this next generation do not care about seeing nothing. They just better work when I put the card in. That's all they care. That's all most people care. So anyway, but it was funny to see her ego about that. She had this really snooty look down on me like, oh, well, sad to see you go. I guess you think you're doing. And I'm laughing at her in my head thinking, you have no idea what this bank is, but do you understand this is your number one competition because the company that runs this there is one of the biggest in the world, way bigger than what you work for. They might be owning this in a few years, but you're so busy, all my bills are paid and I drive a Mercedes or a Beamer and, when you click your heels and you decide, oh, that's the end of the day, and you act carefree and scroll a few more times with your manicured nails on your phone and look down at your petty and you smile because you like the color, and then she walks off and she's jingling her keys to her car. She really thinks she got it. And every dude is like the equivalent of that, walking around in his Brooks Brothers suit and everything, and he got the rollie on his arm and he think he ought to. Do you understand your days are numbered, fool? Your days are literally on a calendar that was in place 10 years ago. Maybe even before then, but definitely 10 years ago. the downsized plan was your destiny of how long you were going to live this life the way you're used to it was set a long freaking time ago because you put your whole everything into the system. You really are, as they say in my fishing world of life, symbolically, hook, line, and sinker into this nonsense of thinking it's real. It's a game, man. It's the Matrix. You can be in it, but don't be of it. You got to think out the box on this shit. You got to know that even what I'm telling you about the account that I'm suggesting you have, don't bet on it. I don't bet on none of it. I got one and I don't bet on it. Yeah, I'm happy to know I got a high APY, but it don't mean, even that barely means much to me until we are able, as an organization, that ONYXCON can then, me being the administration of it, okay, can get a worthy salary from all the effort I put in. I mean, I done already worked damn near for free just for the love of it since the inception, because it never had a budget for real. It never had a real budget. We always had to, every time we get something, we got to put it right back in. So there's never any, there's hardly any, you know, just like true off-time celebration. And as you know, I do vlogs, so if I take a vacation, it's work still. Yeah, I'm having a good time when there's a good time to be had, because the big illusion about travel is that shit ain't always fun. It's full of hiccups and headaches and stuff that'll piss you off. Are you kidding me? And anybody who's a real traveler will say the same. Now, if they ain't no real one, they live in a farce, or again, what some levels of money can do, where, you know, they don't really go see countries, they go see resorts. There's a difference. A resort can give you an illusion of what an entire country is really like. But if you really explore, I ain't saying go into the barrio in Latin America and explore the ghettos of the world. No, I'm not that kind of traveler either. But I am a realist where, you know, I don't mind riding through. Are these tires good? We're going to get out of here. We ain't going to have no breakdown. Avoid the potholes, you know, and let me see what it all look like from every angle. And I actually enjoy that reality check when I'm in places. I actually make that a part of every trip I take. And you'll see it with my content. You know, when I do my vlogs, it's like this brother I was watching today. Oh man, what's the name of his channel? I want to give credit. I got too many people I watch. That's the problem. I literally watched probably about 4 people. That's why I'm trying to remember which one was he and what was the name. It's a young brother, young black guy from America, and he travels extensively throughout Latin America especially, but also has been other places. He's been to Africa, South Africa. I saw that he went to, was it somewhere in Europe, I think? But I was watching one of his videos about Brazil, in particular Salvador, which is part of Bahia. And Bahia is one of those places I've always said I wanted to try in Brazil, because I still want to go to Brazil so bad. I really want to, I almost want to make that. I've talked about it, I've made videos about it, and I've said, I don't know, it's a toss-up between Brazil, Peru, going back to some places I've already been to see parts of it I didn't see, like República Dominicana, Mexico. I think I would actually go to Mexico before I would go back to Dominican Republic immediately. It depends on the type of trip. Like, because I'm more than likely going to always be traveling solo, not always, but it's hard to round up your troops. Like, I got some friends who would go, but getting their schedules in sync, man, I ain't rounding cats. I'm too many grown-ass men with their own agendas, and everybody going to have their own opinion on what they going to do and not going to do, and what they say they going to do ain't going to be what they going to do when they get there. And I done learned that from traveling with friends before, so I'm like, I don't do that. Like, you can't even pick this sort of kind of thing they gonna all like. You gotta be like, what would all these fools guarantee go? Like, I wanted everybody to go fishing. Everybody was talking big about, yeah, man, we ought to all go fishing. When we got there, I was the only one that wanted to go fishing. So I guess, you know, we didn't go fishing. And that was whack as hell, because I needed their money involved to pay for the charter, because it was too expensive by myself for the type of boat and stuff I was looking at. But anyway, but we did go to a car show with a bunch of fine honeys. And I knew that would get them. Hey, bad cars, bad ladies. Yeah, they there. they all for that, goddamn. It wasn't hard to get them to go to that. Everybody, but I told them, I didn't even wait. I'll never forget, I hit them up in the group chat. I was like, look, I already got my ticket. If anybody else want to accompany me for this, you know I'm going to be in in content mode. I'm gonna be filming, so if you cool with maybe being on camera, I ain't gonna be focusing on us. I'm gonna be focusing on the ladies in the cars. But I'm just letting you know that's where my head is at, and I already got my ticket. Oh, that sounds dope. Within hours, I got mine too. Hey, I just got mine. I mean, I was rolling. I was like, yeah, that's about right. And of course, I sent them the flyers. So you got the bad lady on the flyer with the bad car. So you know they was in. They was like, hell yeah, y'all too easy. Y'all too easy to know. Be like all the jokes everybody making them spoofs off of Sinners. Got some fine girl at the door showing her vampire teeth, talking about, come on, let me inside. And they all like, no, what's wrong with your teeth? And before it's over, all she gotta do is twerk a little and show a little coquettishness, act like she wanna give him some. Oh yeah, okay, what the hell? Next minute he waking up with teeth. Talking about, it wasn't so bad. You didn't bite me too hard. Yeah, right. Oh boy, if it ain't just like that for most of these dudes out here. I don't care what they say. I know what they gonna do. Lord have mercy. So no, anyway, hey, we on a mission, y'all. We on a mission. And I've just learned that when you're doing the mission the way I'm doing it, I'm very different. I think out the box. I don't do stuff that most people do. So I have to move different. I have to think different. And I like channels like the guy I was watching today, like I say, because he was honest. He was talking about, for one thing, he said, things move different here in Salvador than they do in Bahia. I mean, I'm sorry, that is Bahia. In Rio. And when most people say Brazil, that's all they think about is Rio de Janeiro. Now, I admit, I still want to go to Rio. And I am starting to think maybe I need to start with Rio. Reason being that I saw multiple dudes, different ages, different mentalities, not all of them. Nobody is me but me. But I pick and choose what you're saying that appeals to my consciousness and how I think. And the one guy, he may be in his late 20s, but he's definitely more level-headed than this other young brother I follow, or have followed. I don't even know if I follow him no more. I'll probably let him go because I got tired of how he just, oh boy. He be doing too much for me sometimes. It's like, you know, I don't mind. I love content about dating and finding beautiful women and having experiences abroad and all that kind of thing. That's fine. I'm not a fan, though, of speaking as if somebody's just, like, making it sound so trivial when you're talking about another human being. I don't look at women like they're like women is a thing, like a pair of shoes or some shit. Like, no. And some of these guys, that's how they talk about women. And then they wonder why they didn't have any good energy with women in America. Now, mind you, a lot of women in America can be materialistic and crazy as hell. So I am all for the concept of going abroad and seeing what else the world has to offer. But I'm also somebody who's done that and realized from my experiences, my first experience with a lady abroad, that you could find somebody that damn near seems like the love of your life, but that don't have nothing to do with psychology. What's going on in the brain can still be messed up. I don't care where she's from. So I always say this: the grass can be greener. Now there's no, see, people want to tell you, oh, you just think the grass is greener. No, I know the grass can be greener. That's a fact. Looks, general treatment, even at its worst, when you find conflict, if you make up, it's some of the best makeup get down you've ever in your life. Like, I know from experience, right? I know things that would not have been possible with an American woman that were possible with women foreign in my life. You know, whether I met them here, met them abroad, whatever the case may be, but they was from another culture. And so, yeah, like I've had those experiences. I know for a fact that's real. And I also know that psychosis and trauma and people getting over this and not having proper therapy and tools to get themselves right in the head, that's universal too. So hurt people, and people are people wherever they at. All people are people. I don't care what kind of human being you are, what ethnicity, what construct, aka race, what. People are people wherever they at in the world. Okay. All right, y'all. Had to load up. Got here on that courier grind. Doing the side gig to the main gig, because y'all are the main priority. Yes, indeed. ONYXCON is always top of my list every day, every night, every second, every minute. I'm making y'all legacy focus. You feel what I'm saying? You know, it's always about reaching these goals of what we have in mind with this organization and what we can continue to do. So I was talking about building a channel, niche content, how to do banking in a modern digital society and have the best advantages for your income, not getting caught up in the matrix, having the mentality of what I like to call the money, power, respect mentality, which is bullshit. You need to have a respect money at the end of the list. Respect in the middle, you got power, then money. Respect, power, money. In that exact order. That is the phrase, that is the quote, that is the everything right there. So yeah, we live by that. And, you know, by doing so, I was saying when you're traveling and you're trying to pick a place, and I was talking about doing travel vlogs and trying to get the most bang for your buck, go places that are safe, go places that are fitting your personal ideals as an individual and where you know you're going to have a good time. So like I said, I'm still kind of juggling between different places. First step, we got to get monetized here. You know, right? We one way or another, either here, fan base, but here is priority. Here is it. This is the one. I believe in you, YouTube. I believe in you. I truly feel that once we get monetization here on YouTube, we're gonna have one of them spectacular months that I've heard of and seen fabled through multiple YouTubers that show how, yeah, one month I made $50, another month I made $200, another month I made $10,000. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wanna live that life. I really do. I deserve it. ONYXCON deserves this. We deserve this, y'all. We've been putting in the work. We're gonna keep putting in the work. And you know, I am seeing that to give this note too, because you know we freestyle when I'm live. I just, you know, sometimes I focus. Like yesterday, I kind of stayed on point. I was all over the place still, but most of that other live was about a review of Warcraft, the movie. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's up. I'm gonna talk about it. It'll speak for itself. It's got a thumbnail. I don't even do thumbnails unless I got a, you know, definite topic, and that might not be the smartest way to do YouTube, to be honest. But I don't be having time to make thumbnails every day for as many times as I go live. It's whatever. If you saw it when I was live, you saw it. If you didn't, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Because my numbers don't be astronomical anywhere. I get my best numbers from my shorts. I go live just to make sure y'all put a face to all this, and I actually enjoy shooting the breeze with y'all while I'm riding. It actually keeps me, you know, it's like I could just listen to music all day. I could get all in my head thinking about what I want to do next, or I can brainstorm with y'all. So I prefer doing it here, knowing that somebody might be watching it, and that's more watch time hours. I don't care if it's minutes add up to hours. So that's my number one inspiration for going live, you know. And I do get the feedback, because sometimes y'all be subscribing off of lives. You know, I get new followers off of lives, so I appreciate y'all. I was saying that when you look at what's going on with how shorts are booming for my channel, for example, and my watch time hours on my main content, my videos, has been dropping for months, because it was stuck first it was stuck. It was just stuck in limbo. It didn't matter what I posted, how cool the video was. I'm like, damn, I cannot get no freaking love. But I noticed the more I started posting shorts, yeah, my shorts is getting higher numbers. People loving my shorts. But then my watch time hours on my other content ain't going nowhere. Now, every YouTuber will tell you, you still want the majority of your money. I mean, you can get your money off of shorts. It can happen, but you get way less off of shorts when you monetize. When you finally do monetize, shorts, man, you can have millions of views and still not be cutting a real check. I'm talking about you could be still hitting a few hundred. I know it's insane, right, to say that out loud, but it's true. So unless somebody's channel is booming, okay, and you getting thousands of dollars off of mostly all shorts, that means your shorts are like, you definitely have a niche that they love. And because I saw a video where this guy did this, but now mind you, he was already monetized. He was already making thousands a month and all that stuff. Him and his rich friends, they literally had a competition. These little young guys, 20-something, that's making all this money off of it. And they said, we're gonna do nothing but shorts. It's a shorts competition. We're gonna see who can get to such and such million views in a month. And one of them won, and the bet was that they would give the money away. That's when I knew they was rolling in money, because I was like, wait a minute, what? They was like, whatever money they made on that whole month, they would give them their subscribers, select subscribers and stuff. Yeah, they if you ain't got a bunch of bills and you good and doing playful competitions like that just for fun, I was like, yeah, these dudes making some serious money. These little young dudes is like little millionaires, little 20-something-year-old millionaires, man. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You might be them. Go ahead and subscribe. throw some. Since it's fun for you to throw your money around, be philanthropic with ONYXCON. We appreciate it. Okay? Cash sign ONYXCON on Cash App and at ONYXCON on Venmo. Anytime, any day, please send a donation. We are 501c3 certified in the state of Georgia. Look us up, the ONYXCON Foundation. Okay? Real talk. So now, I made a decision. I said, my numbers weren't going nowhere, no way, from doing nothing but these doggone edited videos that you put all your heart and love into. People don't even barely watch them. I said, well, okay, I have great days with them videos. I have lackluster days. And I noticed the same thing starting to happen when I go live for doing my gaming content. I used to have every now and then a gaming video. You know, I mean, if I added it up in a year, I had, you know, maybe 10 of them that went over 100. But that ain't no numbers, man. Not when I'm getting shorts that was hitting 400 or something. That's when I knew everything was changing for my channel. When I started seeing shorts I would put up hitting 400 and something plus, I said, man, bump this. And my top content of all time, I'm talking about numbers, the greatest numbers ever, is shorts. So I'm gonna be king of shorts, man, whatever. Like, do you know that the hashtag shorts, and this is a tip for my YouTubers, always use this when you post. Always put hashtag shorts on a short. Hell, put it on a regular video too. Because if you ever make a short out of it, you know how you can edit your longer videos, and I'm starting to do that more too, by the way. Thank you for everybody who responded to my Blue Catfish 24/7. That video is so old. But I just thought about it. I said, man, I love angling. A lot of other folks who follow this channel love fishing. I'm going to post that little moment when I weighed that fish, the biggest fish of my life so far. 24 pounds, 7 ounces, Chattahoochee River. And the moment I weigh it is all you get, like 15 seconds of me weighing it and me saying 24/7. 24 like the hours and 7 like the day. That's all you hear. You see the side of the fish. You don't even see the fish's head. But that video has went over 1,000 since last night when I posted it. I said, holy snap. Okay, man. I'm a master of shorts. When we go viral, when we get our monetization, it's going to probably be because of shorts. We need 10 million watch hours. But guess what? Oh, I'm so proud of this. This morning I woke up to, in the last 2 days, because that's how they did give you numbers on if you could break it down more specific than that, but just the standard rate of number they give you for YouTube Studio when you're checking your numbers, what your every day is, your every other day, you get 2 days worth, 48 hours. In the last 48 hours, this is what your numbers are. We're now over 100,000 views in the last 48 hours. I'm so proud of myself, man. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of what we doing up in this thing. Do you understand what that's about to be? When you start hitting hundreds of thousands, I know what's about to happen. Once this summer, by the time this summer's over, once I hit all my main things that always give me a lot of love, when I finally get a vacation, when I this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, all that footage, those are gonna be the videos that will bring more love back to the channel, because I'm gonna do shorts and I'm gonna do a long video. But I'm gonna make my long videos shorter. I'm gonna chop that stuff up this time. I ain't doing like I usually do. Like if I do one video, it's all about the cosplayers at MomoCon. It might be individual interviews with multiple hotties. You know what I'm saying? And whoever's looking cool in their suits, but I especially focus on the ladies because I know what time it is, and I love the women, so it always gets the attention when you got the cuties out there. So I'm gonna hit up all the cuties. Man, when I tell y'all, them shorts gonna be getting me some numbers, I'm about to get 500,000 in 2 days on views, on watch hours. I'm telling you, on just views, not watch. Watch time is different. Views is nothing. Like view, they'll look at it, they might swipe away, but if they mostly stayed and looked, even if it's like 15 seconds, but they stayed for 5. To YouTube, that's good, because all they care about is you were there beyond what the normal, whatever your normal rate is. If you beating your normal rate, it'll have a little arrow up or an arrow down. As long as I see that arrow green, I'm doing something right. I must be doing something right. Something right. Something right. This ain't overnight. I must be doing something right. Shout out to Crit. Big Crit. Love that song. That's one of my favorite anthems for getting crunk, getting it done. You know what I'm saying? Get out here on the mission to get the work done. I'm gonna have to put that over a short. I ain't used that in a minute, if I have ever used it. But that's the other thing. I use a lot of hype music over my shorts, and I know that's helping. I'm putting people up on music they never heard. Because I purposely use some of the popular stuff. I look for the ones that's been used by a million folk. But I also use stuff that ain't been used by nobody hardly. Because that's how it gets to a million. Wait a minute, I like that. I've never heard this before. That's new. New. You know how you get new? Multi-niche. You can't stick to the one thing. This is multi-niche content. I will be known as the pioneer of multi-niche content on social media. Did you hear what I said? ONYXCON and yours truly, Joseph R. Wheeler III, will be known as one of, if not the pioneer, because there's other folk who do it, but ain't nobody else touting it like I am. I proudly say, I do multi-niche content. Okay? That's what we do here. That's what we do. We proud to do it like that. We ain't trying to, the human brain don't work one thing. I just want one thing all day, every day. Yeah, you might have your little narrow confines of stuff that you like. Like I saw that even with a guy I was watching today, this other YouTuber I just recently started following. He's another traveler. And he said, you know, I had to find my niche, but even when he was talking about it, it was contradictory a little bit. And you can hear it in his voice. He knows it's contradictory because he said, well, you know, I like a lot of things. Exactly. And I still cover those things. Okay, all right. But I focus on the thing I love the most. Okay, all right, what's that? And he still had to say the key word that makes it multi. He said, I focus on boom and, he said and. If you say and, you don't have a one niche channel. Did you hear what I said? If you say the word and, it's not one niche. If you have more than one, it's multi. Okay? Yeah, right. You're right? All right, okay. All right. There's no such thing, quite frankly, in my opinion, as one niche channels. Because everybody wish they could do something else, and every now and then they show you a little bit of what else they do. Because they dying to try something else, or they get bored with themselves. Like, man, I don't even want to talk about my freaking car today. Damn. You know, and you got all these grease heads in the comments. What do you mean, man? Every day is another engine. Yeah. Is that all you did, man? Did you eat something today? Well, nah, I love to eat and I love to drink. And okay, well, sometimes I want to tell y'all about my bourbon collection. I can't afford bourbon. So what, they gonna all leave you? No, you get a better clientele because you get people who can afford higher priced liquor. Now, I ain't even no drinker, but I know this stuff. You understand? I don't drink alcohol. But I've worked in environments. First of all, as an actor, I've played a bartender so many times. Secondly, everybody in my family mostly likes to, you know, partake when they do, enjoy themselves like that. And I know things from just knowing people. And then I've even done brand ambassador work for bourbon and stuff. So I know how it's one of those like super elite type liquors and things, you know, and people collect it and all this stuff. So whatever, man, I know about that world. A little bit of enough to know what I'm saying is true. So I'm saying that's how people actually are. We multi-niche. Our minds ain't about one goddamn thing. I don't care how narrow-minded, non-intellectual you might be. You got more than one thing on your mind. Even if you just, man, I wake up every day. I just, you know what I'm saying? I listen to trap music and I polish my guns and I put my clips in and I listen to gangster rap and everything. Yeah, okay, but do you listen to one rapper? No. Do you have one type of gun? No. Do you want it? No. Nothing is one. Nothing is one. I don't care what you into, it's not one. You're a gamer. You don't play just one game. Yeah, but I only play one type of game. All I play is sports games. Okay, but do you only play football? You only play Madden? No, man, I get down on NBA 2K too. Exactly. So you like more than one. It's always more than one. Damn it. Shit. And guess what? When people be talking that stuff about, but you're going to lose your audience. Lose what audience? You're going to gain another audience. The ones that don't want to see football will go to sleep that day. But they'll wake up the next day and knowing you, being that you love it all, you're going to have football on the next day. Or give them a week or so. Or make them miss you. Make them appreciate you. Sometimes that works good for your channel. I know that for a fact for people I follow who I would never drop their channel just because they haven't posted in a while or I don't like what they last did, because they've won my heart for deeper reasons. Now, they're those people that got on my nerves, and I just had to, I'm sick of this. This don't serve me. As we say in the metaphysical space of mind, when people speak, this doesn't serve you anymore. You know, that's that therapeutic talk. Does it serve your, no, it's not serving. It's not, to put it in other terms for me, it's not giving. It's not giving anymore. It's not giving, it ain't serving. I'm done with your ass. You're getting on my nerves. You say the same thing every time. You always got the same lame perspective that I don't agree with. The only reason I was even watching is because maybe I liked your guests, because you had some fine ass women on there, and then they even crazy half the time, so I want to put it on mute and just look at them, because they ain't talking about nothing I want to hear. So, yeah. That kind of how I end up falling out with Pop the Balloon, the original show. Pop the Balloon or Find Love. Shout out to Arletta Mooley and her husband. Still shout out to them. Congratulations to them. I ain't got no personal vendetta against nobody I still admire. Shit, they don't used to. I still admire what they accomplished. I just don't like the fact that they have a undertone agenda of pushing extreme Christianity on black folks who want black love. Like, they literally, it went from, there would always be at least one or two people in a 5 or 7 person lineup that wasn't talking about Christ and bringing that into their bedroom and everything else, and why they want to mate and how the person got to be, and you better be God-fearing, all them phrases, man. I don't want to hear all that stuff, man. I'm not religious like that. I don't even want to hear it, because I've been around people like that, and they're some of the most manipulative, stab you in the back, trifling ass. Oh my God, I could go on and on with examples too. But we ain't here for that right now. We ain't here for that. Somebody say amen. And back it up with rah, if you know where it really come from. Represent. Comedic forever. Know the truth, not the lie, and you will be free. But anyway, rah, we gonna keep going. Rah shining on me all day. All day. Even when it's cloudy. So, I just don't like that. I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't appreciate that. And it's okay though, because somebody else does. They got to follow. They don't need me. Me being one person who says, I don't like this, don't serve me no more. Fine. They got critical mass. I'm trying to get mine. Thank you to my 1,500 on the way. Thank you to my 2,000 by the end of summer. No more, no less. Okay? They're gonna make us about 5,000 followers. We're gonna get about 5,000 this year on the minimum. That's my goal. And it's gonna happen because of shorts, because like I said, I figured out a formula for this thing, and it's working day to day. Every day I have at least 5 videos, either 2 or at least 1 goes 1,000, 2 more than likely go 1,000 per day, and then the rest of them, it'll always be about 5. All right. 0242. All right, y'all. This is I don't understand. Shit about to die.